the money now.
Hi, Amaka here. A good part of the videos on this channel so far has been about what to invest in, what not to invest in, how to invest, avoiding traps that may rob you of your hard-earned money, all of that good stuff. But all this exists on the assumption that there is money to invest in the first place. To invest in your future and the prospect of early or fruitful retirement, plenty money for trips around the world or spoiling the grandkids and nephews or nieces, all the way to taking care of aging parents, you have to make money. A good amount of it too, which you will then set aside to invest after taking care of the basics like food, shelter, maybe Netflix or ad-free YouTube, whichever is cheaper, and internet too, and maybe a treat because you work so hard every month, maybe. Let's get back on track. Money, right? If you're a Nigerian living in Nigeria, food inflation is at a whopping 21% year over year, down 19 plus percent from 40% in 2024. It means that you're likely now spending close to 50% of your income on food like most Nigerians. Not to add, in some cases, the fourfold increase in electricity prices that you now have to deal with. Fuel prices have had a top-down effect on every sector of the economy, as fuel is a bulwark that other sectors respond to. So this is what the average worker living and working in Nigeria now is facing. It's a lot, and sadly enough, salaries have not increased to match the increased cost of living. The highest employer of labor, the Nigerian government, has only approved between 25 to 35% salary increases. Details around private employment and salary increases are not so clear, but the overall image is grim. Only 16% of Nigeria's 90.5 million labor force work in formal labor, meaning the rest are self-employed, farmers, or engaged in some other business not captured in the formal sector, thus limiting their access to financial services and aid to payday loans from predatory lenders. Currently, only 4.9% of Nigerians earn above 500,000 naira a month, which used to be the lower benchmark for middle-class living by Nigerian standards. This number fell from 16% in 2022. These numbers were corroborated by the CBN's Housing Expectation Survey and private financial services like the PiggyVest survey. But this is not just in Nigeria. 8.9 million Americans, a record high according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, report having a second job, and more than a third of Britons hold more than one job. Across these countries, there is a through line. Established organizations continue to make profit despite internal socio-economic pressures that disproportionately affect middle to lower income earners. Discretionary income continues to decline as utilities, food and transport costs continue to rise. Arguments have been made, at least in the developed world, for livable wages, backed by legislation to ensure companies pay workers enough to live on, while in countries like Nigeria, the call is for mass industrialization to drive employment and growth, much like was seen in China over the past 30 years. Your one job is not enough because other indices, housing prices, food prices, general inflation have far outstripped your earning power. And the future of work, thanks to AI and automation, is removing specialization in many hitherto untouchable areas. If you're in Africa or Nigeria, the prognosis is different, but the end results are the same, and a wholesale solution that will empower the everyday individual across the board is not in sight. So while we wait for large-scale changes to improve the lot of the populace, and Money Made Simple, we believe individual change and growth can also happen outside of the collective. We want to build a case for why you, the person, who happens to be stuck in a cycle that guarantees you can't save, let alone grow wealth, can begin to turn that around by doing the following. 1. Job or career change. If you're already stuck doing two jobs, or a job with a side hustle, a second business, an auxiliary business, and an online thing on the side, or just caught up in the drudgery of a regular job, then a career change should be considered. People aged 25 to 34 statistically stay at a job for 4 years on average, with 33% of them actively looking to change careers. More so, a recently conducted poll showed a significant number of people who have changed careers ended up being happier overall, usually due to better working conditions, salaries, or peace of mind. Nigeria's new Japa movement alludes to this, and while it is not the long-term solution, it is a personal solution that we've seen more and more people adopt in a bid to better their opportunities. However, don't just pull the trigger without proper consideration and research. Whether it's a new job or a new business venture, understand the risks involved, the commitment it takes to switch your whole life around to this new thing, and just how much work you will have to put in. There is no one size fits all on what a new career path looks like. It may involve relocating or delving into areas and disciplines you never would have given a second thought to in the past, but the guiding principles of planning and preparing accordingly hold true, and being aware of the pros and cons, even in a desert, there can be an oasis. Number 2, upskilling. Whether it's a new certification, qualification, or otherwise, it is highly recommended that the search for better, competitive, worthwhile salaries should start with an honest assessment of your skill set and just how much further you need to grow skill-wise. Upskilling allows current and future employers have not only a recent evaluation of your capability for the job, but also a evaluation of you and your objectives. Number 3, monetize your knowledge. Whether it's a work-related skill or talent, today's economy allows for talented individuals to monetize their knowledge either as teachers or creating and selling tools that people can use. From complex Excel worksheets to artwork, acquired knowledge can now be monetized and possibly become a transformative income source for you. Number 4, practice temporary austerity. Now, we are not going to ask you to plant your own tomato and vegetables or whether you should go vegan to save on buying meat. A lot of financial austerity advice borders on the ludicrous. With time being a finite resource, you cannot expect people who work long hours for salaries that barely keep them alive to somehow find extra hours to properly and successfully tend to food gardens, have a small poultry, or work a small piece of land. All things that are significantly time consuming in their own right. However, as economic realities have worsened, one should look towards temporary austerity measures where possible, with any money that can be realistically saved, put toward processes that might help you earn more in the future, either towards chasing new job offers, building viable businesses, or upskilling yourself. And then, when you do start making money and join the elite 0.4% of the population that makes well above the standard, we at Money Made Simple know of a fund manager with a proven track record to grow your money for you. Kudy Financial's links are in the description so you can learn more about them. Thanks again to Kudy for sponsoring this episode. That's it from me.